So briefly, I'd like to discuss an experience that I had, and this was attending LegendsCon, the first, and hopefully there's many more to come. I'll explain why. The LegendsCon, which was held in Burbank, California, Burbank Airport Marriott. Super nice location, very convenient location, which I'll discuss in a second. September 9th to 10th, 2023. LegendsCon. So this is what I received when I walk in, and I'll go over this in a little bit, but I'll discuss a little bit of what I want to discuss in this video. And I know it's been a while since I posted life, family, and everything. So sometimes there are priorities, personal priorities, and everything has to have a balance in life. So, but yeah, I'm happy to be back creating content and discussing something that I absolutely love, which is Star Wars Legends. And what better way to come back than to discuss this amazing event, LegendsCon. So, right off the bat, great experience. I have not one bad thing to say. And if I did, I don't think unless there was this traumatic experience, I probably wouldn't even create anything negative to say, because why? My channel is mainly just celebrating positivity and great experiences. But yeah, so I absolutely loved attending this event, and I will discuss highlights. I'll discuss points and my favorite parts, and so on. So, lots of favorite moments. So, this was held pretty much 2 minutes or less from the Burbank airport, which is something that I appreciated, even though I didn't fly in, but appreciated for friends that flew in and individuals that I don't know that attended that I knew they flew in from out of state. And that was something that was appreciated because I'm sure it was strategic. The airport's right there, and right across the street, you can say, is this Marriott Airport in Burbank. Super convenient for individuals who flew out, which was appreciated, and that's one thing that is important. Taking care of your fans, taking care of your attendees, which is something that they did. I don't know these people. I don't know who. I know it's Legends Consortium. I follow them on Instagram, and I don't know who they are, but they're very considerate. And they hit it out of the park, to be honest with you. So as soon as you walk in, it was very, very. One thing I do want to highlight: extremely well organized. If there were hiccups, personally, me as well as other individuals I went with, we really didn't see any major hiccups, or because things happen. This is an event, and lots of things can go wrong, as we know, and everything just flowed well. As soon as you walk in, show them your purchase ticket on your phone, or if you printed it out, and you go to the registration booth, and you're welcomed by this positive energy. And these staff members were just very enthusiastic about you being there and appreciative. And they gave you this lanyard, Dark Horse Comics lanyard. And here's my badge. And you're also given this, which is a schedule and map. Even though this was posted online prior to that day, which was appreciated as well, because we can plan out and see where we want to go and what panel versus this panel, what should we attend. So that was very cool that we received this before, which makes sense if you think about it. But we're still giving a physical copy, which I loved, and I was carrying. I got a few of them. A lot of them crumbled up, but yeah. Seeing this, I'll show you the. It's given the room and the times, and I can say this. Speaking about that, it was once again, the panels were very, very well organized. They started on time. They finished right on time. There was an individual in the back as happens in conventions that give 5-minute warnings or 10-minute warnings or whatever, and everything's well organized. It wasn't a mess. It wasn't chaotic. I've been to different cons that, wow, nightmare. No matter how small or big, things can go wrong. This just flowed. Once again, flowed very, very well. And I was very happy about that. I'm sure most people, if not all, were. But that's one thing that really, really stood out. And there's a lot of favorite moments that I'll be discussing, but this was a celebration of expanded universe. I've been to different Star Wars conventions and comic conventions and specifically Star Wars Celebration, but this was something as far as Star Wars that was completely catered and geared towards us, expanded universe Star Wars Legends fans, and we got it, and they hit it out of the park. So that was very, very cool. And reading these books have been these comics, they have been part of our life, and seeing all these authors that attended speaking in panels and to each other in these panels and engaging with the fans was priceless. Because like I said, these books are and comics, as you know, if you're watching this channel, these are important stories. And seeing and hearing their experiences, their inspirations, their experience in Skywalker Ranch and Lucasfilm back then, priceless, seriously. Very, very cool. So to name a few that were in attendance and that had panels were Sean Stewart, Yoda Dark Rendezvous. Love that book. Michael Stackpole, which I must have missed or skimmed through this too fast. I didn't know he was going to be there. X-Wing series, and wow, hearing him talk and speak about this, which these X-Wing series is fan favorites, some of my favorites. This guy is just this legend. Matthew Stover, another legend. Revenge of the Sith novel, Traitor, just wow, and his energy just amazing in these panels, which I'll talk about and I'll try to keep it brief. I know everybody's busy, but I'll try to keep this as brief as I can, but there is a lot to say. Barbara Hamley, I missed her panel, but she was there. She was there, and I thought that was awesome that she attended. She wrote Children of the Jedi, Planet of Twilight, and though at complete 100, being very respectful towards her, these are books that they're part of the expanded universe. I might not understand them, but I've read them, and she's part of Star Wars Legends family, Star Wars Expanded Universe. So of course she was welcomed, and everybody was extremely cool to her, and she was there, which was a big deal. And the reason I didn't see her panel because I attended another one, so you had to kind of pick and choose which certain things were your favorites and things you really wanted to attend. So sometimes there were things that overlapped, and kind of have to pick and choose. So that is actually posted online by one of my friends, that interview, which I haven't seen, but I will very soon. And I'm just curious as far as what inspired her to write these controversial books, and I was very curious about that. So I am looking forward to watching that online. But yes, she was there. Abel G. Pena, Randy Stradley, which in his panel I was very fortunate to. He took one of my questions and he answered it eloquently, and I'm extremely appreciative over that, because I asked him, share my experience. Yeah, he wrote Crimson Empire, which I loved, and when that came out, I was already an Expanded Universe fan, and I can tell you that book back then, it stood out. It really stood out. It was it was gritty. It was different. It was a breath of fresh air, because even though we loved, obviously Luke, Han, Lando, Chewie, Princess Leia, Luke Skywalker, this was a departure. This was different. And I asked him what inspired him to do that, and I told him it stood out. It was a breath of fresh air. And that book really, really did. So I was curious about that. And then if I asked them also if this was originally planned as a trilogy and a one-shot, Kenneth Skill. And he said it wasn't originally planned as a trilogy. And then he said that as far as the inspiration goes, for being so different and standing out as something so like a breath of fresh air is that he really, really felt that this universe needed to be expanded from away from our movie heroes and doing something completely different, which he succeeded and he did. And I thought that was extremely cool the way he explained it. One of my friends recorded that and posted it online as well. So yeah, that was very cool that he I was able to ask a question and receive a very, very cool answer. So I was very happy about that. So once again, seeing these legends as far as authors, it was a privilege to attend these panels. And I'll discuss different panels that were my favorites, and some of them I wasn't able to attend. Like I said, there some of them overlap, and that's what happens in conventions. But I can tell you this, it wasn't overcrowded. There was enough people, there was enough fans, it wasn't empty. People went, and people from out of state, like I said, friends of mine and individuals that I heard from being in a panel discussing, overheard them saying where they came from back east, the Midwest, and that was beautiful. That was amazing because they had this passion. That's amazing that they traveled for this specific event here in California. So very, very super well organized. Everything that they gave us here beforehand, everything that was printed happened for the most part. And as far as the timing and the schedule, everything was on schedule, flowed well. Once again, like I mentioned before, so that was very cool. So yeah, people flew in, and I'm a local. I live about 35 minutes away from Burbank, so it wasn't a big deal to me, but it was well worth it from people flying in from out of state because once again, it was a celebration. It was being it was a get together for individuals that really have this passion for Star Wars Legends and want to enjoys it in their own way. So I can say this, that there was nothing, as far as to my knowledge, about anything being continued. So, which is many of us wish that, but it wasn't about that. It was about celebrating what is and what we love. So the panels were, first of all, the exhibit hall. So as soon as you walk in, the exhibit hall was to the right, and that's where authors who were scheduled to engage with the fans and sign whatever items you had, that's where that was held. They had their booth, and in addition to that, they they also had vendors, artists, a lot of things to look at, a lot of merch to look at as well, so, or to purchase, and that was very cool. In addition to that exhibit hall, the panels were held in various rooms, so everything was easy to follow, very well organized. There were postings everywhere, well, not everywhere, but postings where you wouldn't get lost. You knew where everything was held at. So there was staff members everywhere in different rooms, and like I said, to make sure that everybody was good, authors were good, and the guests and the attendees. So I truly, truly appreciated that. So favorite panels that I attended, the Sean Stewart, which he once again wrote Yoda Dark Rendezvous. Super, seemed like a very chill guy, gentleman. He had his daughter there, which kind of he discussed the inspiration, which she had something to do with as well, for Yoda Dark Rendezvous, which is a book that I truly love. I love anything Clone Wars and the multimedia project, which is included in that multimedia project. And he discussed the history behind it, which was an honor to be there as well. What else? Matthew Stover, his panel, he's one of the first ones that I saw. I believe the second one. Super enthusiastic about his work and about the feedback, and just very energetic, which we were happy about too. And the way he answered the questions, and he just gave, he wouldn't give us he gave his answer but expanded, which I loved. He just had these amazing stories, and like I said, Revenge of the Sith and Traitor, which just he hit these books out of the park with his work. Randy Stradley, which I mentioned before, wrote Crimson Empire and other things, and yeah, I was just once again super happy he took my question, and I appreciated that. Another panel, there was a Woman in Legends, and which I didn't attend. I wanted to, because if you watch this channel, you know my favorite, absolute favorite character in pretty much all of fiction is Jaina Solo, which Mara Jade is just a tad below, but Jaina Solo is my all-time favorite character, and so I'm sure there were discussions about her, but I didn't attend that one. I attended. There was one that comes to mind, which was called Crash Course 101 Intro to Legends, which, even though I've been into the expanded universe for many years, and if somebody comes up to me and asks me, what do you recommend, I can give them a straight answer. Many answers, because, and I'll ask questions to them, and I feel I have some knowledge to be able to be helpful in that. But even though this was a Crash Course 101 on Legends, I felt like being in the room where the expanded universe was discussed as a whole. And this is what I got. It turned out to be a full audience discussion. So, what's his name? Jason Fry. And there was, I don't know who she was. I believe she was a staff member. And they were just giving suggestions and talking about specific books. And then that conversation got bigger and bigger and bigger, and the audience was engaging and participated, and it was just very cool. I'm so happy that I went to that. That was very cool. Another panel was the Clone Wars panel. Like I said, I'm very fond of the Clone Wars multimedia project, and I'm glad I attended that. Another highlight, and I thought this was going to be 5 minutes. I'm already at 17, and I know you guys are busy, so I'll try to work on the timing on my videos, but I appreciate if you made it this far. Thank you. It just a lot happened, and there's a lot to talk about, so I'll try to make this short. But humongous highlight was meeting friends that I've made online, true friendships from Discord and from YouTube and other sources of social media, that we become friends, and seeing them in person was just, I can't even describe it. It was amazing experience, and rewarding, and just walking in, and then one in particular, I walked in and I recognized him, and it didn't come to mind, but I thought to myself, I know him. And then in a few seconds, it came to me like, whoa, I've never met him. I never really interacted too much. But he wasn't a friend of mine or anything like that. But he's somebody that I admire. And I went up to him, I had to. And I just, we conversated, and it was extremely cool. I geeked out over seeing him, because one of his channels, one of my favorites, and I expressed my appreciation to what he does and all the content he creates. But then I saw one of my friends that I've never met in person off to the side, and it was sort of like positive shocker, just individuals you engage with pretty frequently, and watching their content for years, seeing them in person, and that was a true highlight, and I'm very thankful that I was able to go. I feel very fortunate, and meeting these individuals in person, and I can say there was no awkwardness. We all treated each other, and that's pretty much how it went. We all treated each other like we've met in person years ago, and we've had these friendships throughout the years. And like I said, there was no awkwardness. We just came together, and we attended panels together, or sometimes we would separate, but there was that camaraderie that we all shared. And I feel very fortunate to be welcomed by them, and engage with them and speak to them, because these are individuals that, they're my friends, but I admire them. Their content is, I look up to them as far as that goes. Amazing content, amazing Star Wars content, and this love for something that we all we all share this love for Legends, and it was very very cool. So I'll name a few that that were, like I said, it really impacted me seeing them. Brendan Quinlan Voss, Alex, which he Alex Magnino, he actually, wow, he did something extremely cool that I'll never forget. He bought me this humongous book called Supernatural Encounters, which isn't cheap, and he gifted me a book out of nowhere. I mean, who does that? That's extremely, I appreciate that very much. So if you're watching, thank you so much. That was extremely cool. Only Good Games, I hung out with him a bunch. It was just like two friends who've known each other for years, just hanging out. So I hung out with him a lot, and very cool friend, very very cool friend. And all these people have amazing content, and individual by the name of and I hope it's okay for me to name drop. If not, just message me, and yeah, I get it. Son of Luke, super chill guy, super chill, and checked out his content. So all these individuals, if you haven't seen their content, which if you've seen my content, if you follow me, I know you follow them most likely. So these names you'll recognize. They're very important to this expanded universe fandom and movement. So also Marcel Revanchist, who is just extremely talented with his voice acting, was very cool. I saw him right away and recognized him. So we all recognized each other. We all came together, and I know this happened as well, not just to us as a group, but other individuals that we don't know about, that they share this. And if we experienced it, we know other individuals had that same meetup like we did, because like I said, you could just feel that positive vibe. I'm all about positive vibes. So that's pretty much what was felt. And I have only good things to say about this. If there was unless there was a traumatic experience, I wouldn't say anything. I wouldn't even post a video as far as anything negative, because it's not what I do. It's something I like, I'll talk about it. If it's something I don't, I just don't. That's just me. But positive experience. What I want and what I would hope is for this convention to keep going. If it's not in LA, here in California, I will fly out wherever it's at. It's only fair, right? So that's how much I enjoyed it. I do it again, and in a heartbeat. As soon as the next one, their tickets go on sale, which I hope whoever organizes, like I said, I don't know them, but I hope it was a success for them, that it was truly a success for them, which apparently it was. A lot of people were happy. So a lot of cosplayers, and yeah, like I said, we all share this, and it was just, everybody was very cool. No a-holes anywhere. Everybody just was cool to each other. We met individuals that were just getting into the expanded universe and were in attendance with a partner, or were just curious about it and were there, and became friends with some of them too. So those are priceless things. So thank you to the people who organize this. If they are watching, I'm not sure, I don't know you, but I'm very thankful for you guys doing this. And it's for us fans, and I'm sure if you guys organized it, you guys are humongous expanded universe fans, obviously. So it's something that we all share together. So I thank them, whoever they are, very much. I do follow them on Instagram, and yeah, I've kind of just followed their journey to they have promoted this and kept us well informed, and very very cool. So I'll stop right here. Like I said, everybody has lives, are super busy, but thank you for watching. And if this happens again, which I really really hope that it does, I will attend, and I recommend, I highly, if you are into expanded universe, Star Wars Legends, I highly recommend going to this event. And yeah, and just have fun and keep everything positive.